Welcome back to Homeschooling Homegirls. Today I'm going to be sharing what planning our unschooling week looks like. Join us for this conversation.
Hi, if you're new to this space, I'm Tiffany, mom to 3 always self-educated kids that are 24, 17, and 9. I'm sharing lessons learned from homeschooling 3 kids spaced 6 to 15 years apart from a secular BIPOC experience. Join us as we change the narrative on who homeschools and unschools and what it looks like.
I want to be transparent, so these are a couple of things I think anybody watching should know. One, this is new. We have lived radically unschooling fluid lives for the last 19 years, but COVID has limited our learning experiences because we can't be outside or around people. And I think we learn best from others. So it's been a lot of YouTube University and picking things up, but I think we needed to have a little structure. So we are trying this. I don't know if it's going to work. I tied traditional school subjects to parts of ourselves. So math is our financial selves. Um, Language is our emotional self. Our life skills are our personal development selves. Um, Art is our creativity. Social justice is our environmental selves. Um, and just being a good human. um, our spiritual self is done with our ancestor work. And then we do a mindset curriculum, I guess. And so those are how our days are kind of going to be broken up. I do them in a block schedule. So I only do one or two a day. I do work. I have my own consulting practice and I help my husband run our tech company. So I am working all day and doing with the kids and then doing the podcast and filming. So we don't get through all of it. And I just want to put that out there because I've been down the rabbit hole of YouTube and Pinterest and blogs and vlogs. And it just seems like these people with 10 kids do every subject all day and their kids are happy and willing to do it. If my kids don't want to do it, then we don't do it. We find something else. We use a lot of YouTube, a lot of documentaries, a lot of trying and doing. And so learning does not just happen through a curriculum or a book, and I'm very well aware of that, but I just wanted to try something new, and so I'm sharing what we're trying. And it does look a little bit more homeschooly than we're used to. This is more for me to kind of get that, I don't know, that voice in your head maybe that says you're not doing enough. We don't spend like 5 hours or whatever a school traditional day is, because it doesn't take a whole day to do school.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I've tried every planner, every digital thing. I use OneNote a lot because I can write on it on my Surface. But this is what I created to kind of keep everything in one space. You can download this from our blog. It is part of our K through 5 How to Homeschool Planner. So you can pick your dates. We do Monday through Friday, and then so this is kind of my morning schedule. I get up, I get up and I get coffee, and I meditate, or I do my cards or whatever it is I'm going to be focusing journaling on. And then I try to get a 30-minute workout and then get ready for the day. And then I work on some client work, and then I work on the tech company. Only have 2 of the 3 kids home now. My 17-year-old really runs his own schedule, so I'm really with the 9-year-old. He gets up around 10:30. So then we'll try to get in 3 chapters. We audible, so it's just cuddling and listening. So there's a blank one. And then when I can type in the day and how many minutes if I want to. And if you're a planner like me, you kind of like those things, but if not, don't use it. And then math, I usually just write what page number, and whatever it is we're doing. If there's any activities. Here is one we've done already. So this is last week's. We've been reading the Charlie Hernandez series, rereading or re-listening to book one. And so we'll do the first 3 chapters, and there's 37 chapters in total. And then we're using Money Munchkins, which is like our math, basically. Tuesdays, we usually do a field trip, and right now we can't, so it's a hike. So we'll read again these chapters, and I will show you these in a minute. The first word trace letters, being kids, are digital, so they type. They don't have to handwrite for anything, so they have been wanting to work on that. So that's what that word is. Our vocab words are words that came up on our Friday social justice piece. So those are things I wanted them to know. Wednesday is art and a life skill. So again, we'll read in the morning, and then we did bubble painting. And then I got this book a long time ago, and we're using it. And it basically goes through 6, I think, different countries, and it gives you some information. There's always like a cooking component to them. So we made tortillas. And then Thursday is science. And so we made a craft stick bridge. We had stuff going on, so social justice moved to Thursday instead of Friday. I try to keep Thursdays less stuff in there because I have more work stuff to do. But it's scheduled changed, so I use the planning to change the word, which again I will share in a moment. And so it really breaks things down by the day of things to look at. So that's how I plan our social justice. So it's the 90th anniversary of the Lemon Grove school desegregation incident of 1931, which happened 10 years before the more popular Board versus Mendez. Um, and then our Fridays are again read. And then the growth mindset, which I'm really liking. And then we work on our chakras and we're part of our spiritual, but also part of our physical, because the book we're using it ties chakras to yoga poses. So we're stretching and stuff. And then, so that's what mountain, staff, and table are. And this was just something I needed to get done, a workout. And then I also use this for meal planning because I hate when they're hangry or I'm running late to know how to figure out what to make. So I kind of just write 4 things down. And then I have really picky eaters, so I know they'll eat this. And it helps me remember to defrost whatever I'm defrosting. So the intention was to plan out the whole month. But of course that didn't get done. So I'm going to work on February's lesson plan. And it basically does the same thing. It just breaks it out into weeks so that I can just copy paste into these lesson plans. And it gives me, well, the intention was to give me a little bit more structure and less running around. But we'll see if I actually use this. I don't know. But this is just stuff I could type in. They're all refillable. So basically, like for this one, I just saved it with what week. So 2021 week 1, obviously, and what it is. And then I just put it in the same folder and it just lives there. Because I used to do binders, but it was too much, wasted too much ink and too much space. So now I know where it lives. And then anytime I want to, I just reset this and it resets everything. So if I were to type in here, it resets it. And this, I chose not to reset it because I do this. This is usually my morning schedule. The brain dump is also if like I need to go buy supplies for a project or whatever. Okay, so that's our weekly. This is how I plan the week. And then I'm going to try to plan out the month and then just copy and paste into the week. That might be easier. So for social justice, because I realized I needed a way of breaking things down that where I could answer quick questions. So usually what happens is I will use, let me open it. Okay, so this is what I'm using to plan our Friday social justice. I really recommend, I'll put the link in the blog post and in the video. Um, I think it's like 11 or between 11 and $14, and it comes as a PDF. I did have the hardbound cover, but I think they ran out for, I had it for last year. And then the digital one, okay, I love this and I hate this because it does give you links, but the links don't work and you can't copy and paste it because it just turns into gibberish, and I'll show you. But I haven't found a way of using it. So it does give you lesson plans. Okay, so this is um, it gives you kind of a week like this. So like the 60th anniversary, and it tells you go to what page. So if you go to page 126, like it tells you to, then it breaks these down. So I tend to use this version. So here's a good website too for books. Okay. So January. So what I did is I looked through all of the things um, between. So this week lesson was the one we did was January 4th through the 8th. So then I just came over here and looked from January 1st through the 8th and looked for something I thought would be anything when there is anything I can find when it's tied to Latino, Mexican, or information, I tried to use that. Okay, so I started here, and then um, this is what I'm like, okay, I'm going to use this. And then see how there's like these bit.ly links. You can't, if you were to copy and paste that into the internet, it just turns into gibberish. Like it doesn't, you can't use it. So you have to like literally, you have to type it out. So that's what I usually do. I use the Zen Education Project for a lot. It has a lot of free resources. So like this one had um, a free video. It's like 57 minutes. I don't know if my kids are going to watch it. Usually I will put it on the TV while we're eating or something and then talking about it. Um, but I thought it was pretty interesting. They go back in time and it's like them watching it instead of just reading about it. We're super visual, so that helps us. And it gives some information. So it helps me start filling out the who, the where, my topic. So this is going to be my topic. I use the social justice planner to put that there. And then I Google. And so the first thing I found was a 5-minute interview. So here's a link to the interview. And then this is the Zen project I just showed you, which has that video and some information. And then the next one under that is the separate but never equal. And I have this book. So I'm going to pull it back out. And then I had to type in these links, but these links sent me here, which is a 2-minute audio conversation, which is them now. And so I like that my kids are getting the then and the now. This is the book that it's talking about. One of the links was to an educator's guide. It has so much stuff. I don't know if we'll go through all of it, but what I do end up doing is saving this because we go through it again next year when it comes around. It kind of is like, so if you're wanting to tie it to standards, it tells you how, and then it gives you activities. We might use this we might not, but it's pretty comprehensive. This is where I got the vocab words that we're going to be using for Tuesday. So this Lemon Grove took place in San Diego, California. So um, we love going to Barrio Logan. So maybe we will try to visit the Grove area. This maybe drive by the school and see it, so it's more real. And so this is where this comes in. So where we went, what we found to eat, any resources, what we learned. And these are usually done like verbally. My kids will tell me and I'll just write it in. And if they liked it or not. And then we'll just put a picture from where we went. And it's kind of cute. It turns into like a little yearbook. And this, again, you can download this one and this one from our website, our block space. And then for art, we had done this one, how to make the Mexican flowers. And so when I'm planning, I kind of try to copy and paste the steps. I don't have to go looking for it. And then materials, and then like the YouTube video I found, and that way it's in there. So in the state of California, you can do a charter, and these are just extra pages. Sometimes we do activities that are a little bit more involved, like we were painting a mural outside, and that was kind of involved. Okay, let me see. So in the state of California, you can choose to belong to a charter. We have with my younger one, and these are all the methods in which you can submit your learning samples. So I just created this to streamline when I send her stuff. So like I would fill out this thing. This is what, this art thing that we did. And then my kid can write what they did. And I can submit, like I did a worksheet and just, it's basically just checking boxes. Just in case you have to turn in your learning sample to somebody and they don't, some teachers appreciate it, some of them don't care. But for me, it was just like a one way of doing it. It's a recap. I would plan the week by pulling this out. Ideally, I wanted to plan out the month and just copy and paste into this, but we're not there yet. Maybe I'll work on that next week. And then for social justice, I use this to gather what we're going to be talking about. It's also where the vocab words come from. And this planner goes into with the social justice planner. And then field trip is our Tuesday thing. And then this is what I use if I'm going to use it for a learning sample, and or we have an activity that requires lots of things or just steps. So that also that if I'm not going to do it, maybe my older kid can do it with my son, or my husband can do it with my son. And it's just basically all done, all stepped out there. And there's, it just makes it easier to hand off. Okay, so let's move over to where all our resources are.
Okay, so this is the basket that sits on top of the shelf over there. And this is what we're using for math. Let's see. And it's about financial literacy. I mean, it covers, it has 36 lessons. So maybe yeah, so it has 36 lessons. And it comes with both like an educator one and financial one. Monday. And then for my older kid, it's just a financial, let's see, sorry, a financial literacy map. I have had this since I homeschooled my brother, who's 10 years younger than me. It's been forever. Um, I don't even know where I got it, but it's basically adulting now. So I got these flashcards a while back, and sometimes we'll use them, but only if they're asked for. But they do stay in this basket. The same, and then like I said earlier, my kids are digital, so they're really good at reading, but the spelling, writing is not their thing. So we have this thing that you can wipe um, off. See, they've used it, some of it. It stays in here. And then we also just got like modern lettering. So we make it fun. Like they're using calligraphy to figure this out. It's harder than it looks. So that's also writing language. Um, the parts of speech thing is up there. So sometimes we use that. Okay, this is the book I was talking about, Trip Around the World. I think I got it at like a museum or something. We've had it for a long time. But so it goes through maps and colors in the language. This is a teacher's resource, and it gives you other books and other resources. It gives you activities, and then this is the recipe. We made tortillas. Gives you Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, Egypt, Germany, Japan, Kenya, Mexico, the Netherlands, Saudi Arabia, and the States. And then this is the book we're using for science experiments for kids. Super easy. There's a bunch of them. It breaks it down into STEM things too. So he's liking this. This is what we're using for spirituality. It's chakra and yoga. So it's opening different chakra points and doing yoga. What I like about this is every chakra area breaks it down into information. And so we kind of go over this. And then each pose has a thing. We use the growth mindset activities. So it's 55 exercises to embrace learning and overcome challenges. I just ordered a bunch of stuff for a mental health unit study we're going to be doing. So I will post that later. Our life skills have been, we subscribed to, what is this called again? Oh, okay. We subscribe to Radish Kids. So we get a box every month. And it'll come with it came with this set. And it gives you the ingredients and how and the steps by step. So even if you don't have full readers, it's pretty self-explanatory. I'll give you some facts, and then there's a website and there's other things that it will give you. So he wanted to do these. They did not turn out that way, but the one we just got is Italy, and I think raviolis is what we're gonna try next. So that's pretty much like book wise what we're using. For science, sometimes we use the magic school bus, and so there's a bunch of cards and an explanation. So sometimes he'll pick one of these, and then we'll do that. I think the key is to have everything accessible. So I'll show you. So everything lives in this basket. And it just lives on that shelf over there. And oh, that's all our homeschool stuff. So instead of having it scattered all over the house like we used to, it is all lives over there. Okay, so I use this Rocket Book Planner. It is my favorite if you're like me and you want something you can write on. But it basically is a planner that you can write with ink, erase by just spraying with water. And then what you have written, you can take an image, like a picture, and send it to where you want to send it. Email, a Google Drive. I use OneNote, so I send them there. And it's basically like that's your, these are the symbols, and then you tell it where to go. Again, I wear a lot of hats, so it's helpful. I use mine a little different because I'm telling you, I have so many hats on. So I use one of the weeks for just personal things like meal planning, relationship goals. So I try to do like a self-care for me, a tradition for the month. We do family nights on the first and third Friday, and we do date nights on the first and third Saturday. And then we try to do like one-on-one time on the second and fourth Saturday. And then I try to do friend times on Thursdays. So it's like whatever I planned. Um, and then I use the next month for like whatever homeschool stuff we're going to be focusing on. Each month is broken out into a purpose. So like January. So this is what I kind of use. I did this a long time ago, but it's basically all the months of the year. And what our health and support looks like. And it's also what like it's domestic violence and child abuse month. It's what else is there? Child Health Day, National Depression Day, Screening Day. So these are already things that are coming up in the month. That's what the months are for. So like let's find January. Okay, so January's new things is religious freedom, National Human Trafficking, the Holocaust Remembrance Day. These are, although the month is new things and maybe we'll focus on that, these are also things when I'm looking at social justice that I'll be looking into. In that planner, there's a PDF. This is what it looks like when you get it in print. Again, I took it apart. January is new things. February is love. March is strengths. April's release. May's ideas. The summer, I pretty much leave open. We do camping and stuff. Fall, we usually start with purpose. October's help and support. And then November's active listening. And they're just a theme that I kind of try to pull into every month. So I usually will start here. And I need to like just scribble things out that I see. And then I'll move to those PDFs I showed you. And then that's pretty much it. Okay, so let me show you one last thing. Okay. I talked about charters. So with charters in California, every 5 weeks or so, a sample is due. They used to be more unschool friendly. They're really not anymore. So this is this is what it comes in. It looks like you can get it off of Amazon or whatever. It breaks it pretty much into the subjects that school requires, that the charter requires, and then I take it apart. This really helped because I got really sick a month ago, and my husband could just pull out of this and have my kid do it. And so like I break it in kind of the way this is. This is all math stuff in this folder. This is all English stuff. This is writing. Science. I also got another science book, so this is other. I kind of just broke them into chapters. With these, we could just grab it and go. So again, we're not homeschooling, but the charter does require some structure. So instead of killing myself with it, I bought things that are approved for the grade that he's in, and then I have what they need. So that's kind of how our planning goes. I know it sounded like a lot. It's not. I try to make it as easy as possible and easy to reproduce. So that's what the PDFs are for. They're my proof and they're a look back. The purpose of this space is to join others in creating community and expanding who homeschools and unschools and what it looks like. All right, thank you. I'll see you guys next week. Bye. Thanks for kicking it with us today. Want to talk about homeschooling and unschooling in between episodes? Follow us on Instagram at Homeschooling Homegirls. Enjoy the process
of raising empowered people.